What is going on, guys? Stardust-oneworldreviews here, and welcome to another top 10 best moments list. It's been a while since I've done one of these lists. I've done my last time I did, I think it was either my Tomb Raider one, or I think it was my Dark Knight one, or like I've done my last best moment I did on a franchise or whatever. I'm back on a best moments list. This is actually for the two, get the next couple of days, and this one I'm going to be discussing my favorite moments from Marvel's Spider-Man. This is the game has slowly becoming one of my all-time, and slowly rising up my favorite games list. Like, I definitely will keep the list I did in my original top 10 best games last year the same. But Marvel Spider-Man is a game that has truly, definition again, I love the more I think about it, a game I truly adore the more I play it. Like for someone who is a huge diehard Spider-Man fan, it was everything I wanted, and probably more. Like, it even surprised me a lot. Like, I never expected the story to be as much as it was, the character to be as the best thing as they were, especially the villains. And I had a lot of fun, but I expected to have much fun. It's like, I was definitely very excited for it. The trailers were awesome, the Apple Screen great, and by the time games, who most of you know did the original Spider-Man games and the Ratchet & Clank franchise, and most of you know how big a fan I am of the Ratchet & Clank franchise, so it's that. But yeah, no, I fucking adore Marvel Spider-Man. This is truly rising up my favorite games list, and it's definitely one of the best things about Spider-Man. Period. Definitely top 5 for me. Like, man, this game just kind of something in Spider-Man. It's one of the things that really reminds me why I love Spider-Man. Like it's very it has a lot of things that things that a die-hard Spider-Man fan will really get. Like, even if you're not Spider-Man fan, this game can actually change your mind on Spider-Man. Again, it's a lot more emotional than I was actually expecting. So I figured, why not do a top 10 list on my favorite, because there are a lot of great and memorable moments in this game that I truly adore. And I'm going to go into detail, so there will be a spoiler warning. I'm going to get into detail on my favorite moments now. Like, I actually talk about my favorite moments without getting into detail, so yeah, spoiler warning to those who haven't played the game yet. Yeah, so I still hope you all enjoyed this list. People let me know what your favorite moments are in the comments down below. And up here on the brush, let's get started, shall we? Kicking up the list on number 10, we got Peter getting evicted from his apartment and chasing down the flash drive. Now, the one of the great things about Spider-Man like that, it's very mind why Spider-Man is just a beloved character. And one of the things that, despite him being a hero, he is human. Peter Parker is human. He goes through a lot of daily stuff, like not paying rent, and dealing with a lot of relationships, and friendships, and people that he knows. Like, he basically does everything that pretty much a hero pretty much should, basically, is dealing with, and this game emphasizes that very well, and we see where Peter does end up getting evicted from his apartment, which you kinda really feel for him, honestly, and then you get the sequence where he ends up chasing down a flash drive, which it's actually a pretty cool sequence, which one fight and him talking to this guy, which I thought was pretty cool and kind of fun. Because again, the reason why this one's on is because it really shows that Peter is a real person and deals with human problems despite being actual Spider-Man. And chase the franchise and leads to some fun and of course great battles, and then you see him crashing his fees, and then you see Ant-Man giving him money and all that. And again, it shows Peter really is a human and deals with a lot of these human problems, and Game Fighter really is a huge example of why Peter Parker is such a believable character, and that's definitely probably why this moment is on this list. At number 9, we got the post-credit scene with Norman Osborn. This is of course basically the end after this scene, and I think that really has a lot of interesting elements for the sequel that's in development upon to come. There's like, throughout the game we have to believe that Harry Osborn, Harry and MJ's best friend, and his friend again, has people going to like places, and like I don't know what places, but he's basically going on like a business trip or whatever. But that's like on the game of a moment that I will get into in a little bit. That Harry actually has a bit of trip, but he's kind of feeling sick, which is kind of like, huh, interesting. And then we see Norman open the door, and we see Harry in the chamber, and one thing I like most about the scene that it really makes you think of Norman Osborn in a different way, because you do that he kind of was like a jackass and asked throughout the game, and it's kind of the reason why Doc Ock Doc Ock and Nez really want to kill the guy because they wronged them, which is definitely understandable. But you can at least get why he was an ass, and you can at least see why he was like that throughout the whole game, because he really wanted to find a cure for Harry. He really wanted to help his son, because he truly does care about him. Now I'm like, we're so close, but I'll keep trying. I will find a cure. I love it, something like this, and then we see this thing like coming in. The kind of hints like, no, that kind of hints of Venom, so that's all out. So that's some symbiote or whatever. So I'm sure that's gonna be a big thing in the next game. But not only teases a lot of interesting stuff in the next game, but again, it really makes you think about Norman Osborn in a different light. So I get the props on that. At number 8, we got the helicopter chase sequence. Now, if you're talking about fun, thrilling action sequences and fun and kind of tense moments, this moment definitely be on the list for this game, because that's basically what it's like. Before this, you're basically trying to find this game to try and get some information, but then this crane ends up falling, and then you have to force to chase this helicopter for it destroys the city, and then you pretty much have to web sling through and trying to find him before he escapes and before he destroys any more of the city. And we do have to go up a lot of these quick time events, which definitely no environment game. I never really had a problem with time events, but they used it pretty well here. Especially when the dogs at the helicopter, like that is awesome. Like the epic scale at the helicopter scene is just awesome. And to be able to do it, you gotta try to stop the helicopter actually into the city. You basically you gotta try to weather as fast as you can to try to stop the helicopter, and of course you get a lot of fun, of course, with Spider-Man, of course, as well as you always give Peter Parker just in terms of fun, in terms of thrill, in terms of thrilling action sequence. That's definitely why this moment is because of how fun it is, how tense it is, and pretty much how cinematic it kind of feels, and just finding his trying to chase a helicopter, trying to stop the city, and then or trying to stop them crashing. Like, man, that is just fun. So, at number 7, we got the moment where we find out how Mr. Lee became Mr. Negative. Now, Mr. Lee could have easily become just a very one-dimensional character. I mean, it was kind of obvious that he was kind of a villain, and he was going to be a villain, and everything. And he could have easily been just one-dimensional. They could have just easily made a one-dimensional villain, but later on in the game, they do end up fleshing him out and do make him a more thematic character. And you find out about this in this one mission where it's one stealth mission with Mary Jane, where you do play as her and try to sneak through, which is kind of how you find out about Harry being sick. But and then you find the scene where you see Mr. Lee being experimented on. Like, you really see him just experimented by Norman Osborn, which does explain why Mr. Lee really hates him. Which vision. You see him get experimented on, you see him just and it's kind of like sad because again, you could definitely see why Mr. Negative, and it sucks that ended up happening to him. The scene itself is kind of haunting and kind of even scary at times, and the music that plays, it really, as well as that kind of scary, frightening feeling. Like, man, I just really wasn't expecting. Again, they could have easily made Mr. Lee a very one-dimensional villain, but they ended up really fleshing him out. And this is definitely the one that really makes you really care and makes you feel a lot more differently about Mr. Lee as a whole. And again, that moment really does prove why, and that's still just kind of every time I watch it. And speaking of Negative, at number 6, we got the train fight with Mr. Negative. Like, this is basically after extension where basically you play as Mary Jane and you basically have to try to sneak off and try to see this bomb and just do, then you end up also this moment where you basically end up inspiring to just have people and kill them. Like, that moment almost made this list, but then I remember this train fight and it's like, this had to make the list, because it is a pretty fun, it is a pretty tense fight, and you don't really know where he's like it's the type of kind of going kind of different directions, like, and you kind of don't know what's going on. It kind of makes them a lot unpredictable and a little kind of scary, honestly. And again, they're flying the train, and you basically got dodging, which makes for a very thrilling fight. And the boss fights on the game are pretty great. This is definitely not the only boss fight you're going to see on this list. I'm probably going to another one in a little bit, but this is one that definitely is right on. The music playing and the things that are happening, and then of course you beat him. You also get the moment where you do try and stop the train. training you to do the whip thing, and that was last time, so if you see Spider-Man 2, that's kind of basically a reference to that, which it's what I didn't expect. It's just the first time seeing Mr. Catcher, even though it's just great to have you seen Mr. Lee and Catcher at the world is, and it's overall thrilling and a great fight. Yeah, I could also put the other boss fight with him on this list, but and while that is an amazing boss fight, I end up putting the train fight here, honestly, because of how thrilling it is. Now we're on top 5, and in number 5 we got the Rhino and Scorpion boss fight. Now I've been hovering between this boss fight or the one between Electro and Fortress, because that is an epic boss fight, but because of how hilarious and fun it is and how engaging it is, I end up going with the one between Rhino and Scorpion. And it has a lot of fun. Not only it's kind of difficult and kind of just trying to pick the moves and trying to also make sure you hit Rhino on the right opportune time with the boxes and the cranes, like. You also get this fun interaction between Rhino and Scorpion, where basically I had to beat him, you can't cast your plancher, and then the end I was like, you idiot, and all that, like you get some hilarious banter between actual Rhino and Scorpion, and really get some good banter between them, but the fight itself is just thrilling, awesome, fun, entertaining, and definitely very thrilling, and definitely one of the best boss fights I've seen in this game. But definitely not the best boss fight in the game, but we'll get into that later. But this is still an amazing boss fight. And number 4, we got a simple scene, but one that still is incredibly memorable in all the right ways. And that is the Peter Spider-Man / Miles train sequence. This kind of adds another scene that I will get into later. Basically, Miles is basically dealing with a lot of all that happened with, again, the scene I'll get into later. But basically, he ends up capturing these type of dogs, he's scared, and then he sees Spider-Man come rescue him, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, Spider-Man, I love it. And then they have a conversation, and then they end, and then Peter tries to teach Miles how to fight properly, and he wants to this again, and then we see Miles trying to find, and then he actually hits Spider-Man. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, like, it's great, if you think that's fine, like, thanks, no problem, like, and it's a very simple scene, but one that really hits a lot, especially we know all Miles Morales pretty much has been through at this, and considering that I will again get into later. Like, he basically has been through a lot, and just to see him feeling happy and feeling confident in himself after all that, it's like, and of course after you see him being on with fees and him trying to be happy, him trying to help out, like, that is just filled with a lot of emotion and a lot of not only ability but realness that this game really sells incredibly well, which is something I always love about Spider-Man, is how real and relatable it can get. The stories can get, especially with Spider-Man and their characters, and this is pretty much a pure example of everything I just said. And number 3, we get to the moment I mentioned I was going to talk about, and that is the City Hall bombing. Like, this is definitely one of the most tense sequences in the entire game. Again, like, I didn't expect to be effective for as much as I did. And basically, you do see different Davis, who is Miles Morales' father, you do truly get to know in one certain mission, and you truly end up caring about him. And then you see these minions trying to attack, and then you see him just trying to save it, but then the explosions actually happens, and then people just explode, like, we see a lot of explosions, see Peter knocked out, and then this moment you end up playing Miles Morales in a very tense self-section, like I never expected to make these stuff such as engaging and fun. Like, even after replaying the game, these self-sections never, like, held the game back or really, like, bog it down in any sort of way. And that is honestly kind of impressive, because I'm not really making it into stealth, but I thought it was something that really could really bog the game down. But it really doesn't, honestly, and these just really had a lot of intensity and a lot of engagement to the game, and you basically are trying to save everybody and trying to see what happened to Miles' dad. And then you unfortunately end up saying that he died, and the look on Miles' face, like, you really feel a lot of emotion in that sequence when you find out about that. Just, oh my god, I felt so bad for Miles when he finds out about his father. Like the bombing sequence, I didn't expect to be as effective as it was, but it ended up being truly effective. I can see Miles, his dad is truly emotional and trying to sneak through the demons, or It's pretty tense as hell. Even after replaying for the game, this is one that still affects me, and no matter how many times I've actually seen it and played it, like, it is truly that effective. And then number 2, we got probably the best boss fight in the game, and that is the Doc Ock boss fight, the last boss fight in the game. Now, Doc Ock, oh my god, Doc Ock. Now, I'm so surprised that this is going to be high up on the list, because I think if you play the game, like, Doc Ock is honestly a character that the game does an amazing job of making you really care about him. Even though you kind of knew he's going to go into Dr. Octopus in some way, because, I mean, if you're a big Spider-Man fan, if you're like a die-hard Spider-Man fan, I'm sure you have to know that at some one way or another he's going to turn to Dr. Octopus or Doc Ock. Like, you kind of, it's inevitable, but I really didn't want that to happen, because again, the game does a phenomenal job of making you care about him, like, basically he's been, all he wanted to do in this game is basically trying to do good, and try to be a good person, and trying to do good in the world. That's basically what he's trying to do here, what he's trying to do throughout this entire game. And every moment he's had with Peter is truly amazing, whether it's on hilarious level or on dramatic level. Every scene he has with Peter is incredible. Like, I couldn't put any other scenes. Like, I probably couldn't even put a top 10 list on my own on the best scenes with Peter and Otto. That's how great moments that these two characters share. Because Otto, you truly care about his character here. So when he does turn to Octopus, it's kind of heartbreaking. And he's still kind of trying to do good, but kind of in his own way. He basically wants to get revenge on Osborn, which, for good reason, because they were partners, and then he kind of threw his idea, and he kind of like took his hard work with research. Just, man, that's just, oh man. Like, you care up so much that you don't really even want to fight Doc Ock. Like, I never felt that way ever in any boss fight, where I don't even want to fight the boss I'm fighting. Because I really care about his character. The game's an amazing job of making you truly care about his situation and what he's been through. Like, I really did not want to fight the guy. And again, no boss fight has ever made me feel that way. But you do end up finding, man, the boss fight is definitely tense and thrilling and suspenseful as hell, and not it's it's very challenging. It's one of the most challenging parts in the entire game. Especially the music that's playing, basically you're swinging around trying to hit the right spots on him, and then you end up finding him, and you find him again, and then you get this amazing sequence where basically you end up being honest, break it down, and then you get these exchanges between him and Peter. It's like, I should have known you would turn on me, just like all the others. Turn? I worship you. Your mind, your body, the way you help others, the way you never gave up. You haven't ever wanted to be. You just throw away. And the voice acting between Peter Parker, that plays them, I forget the voice that plays them, and Gary Wilson, I believe is his name. And after that voice is Doc Ock, I forget who voices them. Like, I mean, this game already has had incredible voice acting, but that is truly some of the best voice acting ever. And then you see Doc Ock begging Peter to help him by everything, because the zombies could take it away, and then you see people just leaving, like, after it. And he's like, Peter, like that definitely made me emotional. It actually made me shed a couple tears. But there was one moment that made me actually shed so many tears. And what is that moment, you ask? But before we get to the list, let's get into some honorable mentions. Now, there are so many memorable moments here, it was definitely tough to leave some off the list, so instead of going through like a many moments, because there are many memorable moments in this game, I'm going through 10 moments that I thought are putting on this list, but just barely missed it. And those moments are Yuri going crazy in the second Spider-Man DLC, the opening sequence, the Kingpin boss fight, the dinner scene with MJ along with his Stan Lee cameo, the Electro Vulture boss fight, the Electro Chase fight, every scary transition with Mr. Negative, Doc Ock actually releasing the virus, the Mary Jane defusing bomb sequence, and pretty much every scene with Doc Ock and Pierre. Those are definitely a lot of great moments, but those are the 10 I really thought of putting on this list. But my number one favorite moment from its anime staff, I'm sure you're unsurprised that anime staff topped this list. Especially if you play the game, I'm sure most of you aren't surprised that this moment topped the list. I was definitely shaking a lot of tears when he ended up doing Dark Hawk. But anime staff just broke my heart. And I'm saying, this game probably has the best interpretation of anime ever in any sort of entertainment. Because anime is someone that always kind of gets put in the background as kind of someone who's always worrying about Peter, but here they really make her a very developed and likable character, and they really make her a real character. As he always says in the game, you help somebody, you help everybody. That's definitely what's to live by. That's definitely something I'm not taking with me throughout the sense of this game. The reason closed ever since the virus was released, when Doc actually released that drinking that virus throughout the city, and May is still not one of the people that ended up getting infected, but she's probably gonna live, she probably is gonna get it. And then you find out that the virus thing, the skill they had didn't have all left, and May could end up dying any moment, but if you use an analogy, so basically Pierre makes it between May and anybody else. They probably would figure out a way to save May, right? Right? And then she actually dies, I'm actually getting emotional just thinking about that moment. It's truly the best that this game has to offer in terms of real emotion, and proves that Pierre's actions really do have consequences and all that stuff. And then you see him as take off your mask. I want to see my nephew, which is kind of expected, but it's still a beautiful scene, and the facial reactions, and that proves that we've gone so far ahead in terms of graphical quality, because you actually see Pierre actually crying and actually in tears. You knew? You're doing something, and then see Pierre about to do it, about to kill him, and then oh my god. Again, I really felt so much on it. I actually was crying so many tears throughout that scene. Again, this is a scene that really proves along the realness and the realistic, and proves that how real this game can truly have gotten. And all the reasons I mentioned is why anime's death is my favorite moment in Marvel's Spider-Man. Hello guys, I hope you enjoyed talking about my 10 favorite moments from Marvel's Spider-Man. If you have played through the entire Marvel's Spider-Man, feel free to let me know what your favorite moments comes down below. What are your favorite moments? What are the moments that made you feel the most emotion, that were the most fun, thrilling, and amazing from this game? I'd love to let me know in the comments down below what are your favorite moments from this game if you have played through it. This is a game that's honestly not very special to me, and one I'm definitely going to play pretty much. Probably always replaying on that. I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And it proves that games are really come a long way. And I hope you enjoyed this list, and you have another best moments are coming away very soon, so be on the lookout for that. I'll have tried some more movie reviews, and maybe even a TV will come very soon, so be on the lookout for that. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I honestly truly appreciate. If you haven't, be sure to like this video, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow all of my social media sites, all linked down below. I am Stardust-oneworld from Stardust-oneworldreviews. I will see you next time, and stay cool, everybody. Peace.